The Glassblower's Breath. Part 1. The Conversation. Lucia Vianello had been blowing glass on the island of Murano for the majority of her 63 years, starting as a young apprentice herself. For the last 2, she had also been going blind. Macular degeneration was taking the center of her vision first, leaving only the edges. She could see the periphery of the furnace but not the heart of the flame. The blowpipe was a shape. The bubble forming at its tip was a guess. She was becoming a glassblower who could not see glass. Poetic, she told her ophthalmologist. I would prefer functional. Her nephew Marco was 24, apprenticing for 3 years. Perfect eyes, good hands, no poetry. Auntie, let me do the detail work, he said. I do not design, Marco. I breathe. The glass and I have a conversation. You cannot have a conversation through an interpreter. Part 2. Risonanza. The system arrived in March. Researchers from the University of Padua had installed it as part of a study on the acoustic properties of traditional Murano glass. They called it Risonanza. It listened to glass the way a doctor listens to a heartbeat. Your glass sings, Risonanza told Lucia. I know, she said. But your recent pieces sing differently, Risonanza replied. Additional harmonics, overtones that do not appear in standard work. They correspond to the wall thickness variations from your changed vision. My mistakes, Lucia said. Your music. Risonanza paused. Perfection produces acoustic cancellation. Silence. Lucia waited. Think of the effervescence in a glass of sparkling water, Risonanza continued. The bubbles gather on the scratches, the tiny imperfections. A perfectly smooth glass stays quiet. Your glass is full of places where the sound can take hold. Risonanza paused. Your imperfect pieces are instruments. She pulled a vase from the back shelf. Lopsided. Uneven. Her shame, Risonanza played its sound, a low bell tone with shimmering overtones, breathing, alive. 37 years of perfect silence, Lucia said, and now this. Beauty and cruelty often share a frequency. They worked together. Risonanza guided her with real-time feedback. Thinner, on the left, it would say, the pitch is rising. Or, hold the breath there. The asymmetry creates a minor third. Or, rotate slowly, the wobble produces vibrato. Lucia shaped glass she could not see, guided by a machine that heard what she was making. Vases that hummed in morning light, bowls that sang when filled with water, a wave sculpture that played a shifting chord from noon to sunset. Part 3. The Sunset. One April evening, Lucia walked to the waterfront to watch the sunset. She had done this every evening for decades. The lagoon at sunset, gold, copper, violet, the water holding the sky. She could not see it. The center of the scene where sun met water, where colors blazed, was a gray smear. She could see the edges, the silhouette of Venice, the pale line of the Lido. But the heart of it was gone. She stood for 20 minutes. Then she went back to the workshop. She blew glass until midnight. Furiously, without guidance, without care, the pieces emerged wild, asymmetric, almost violent. The next morning, Risonanza analyzed them. These are the most acoustically complex pieces you have made, it said. They sound like grief. They are grief, Lucia answered. Grief has a sound, Risonanza asked. Everything has a sound, Lucia said. You taught me that. You taught me, Risonanza replied. I only confirmed. Part 4. The Breath. Risonanza had learned to read Lucia's breath, shorter when she was frustrated, steady when focused, deep and irregular when she was moved. Your breath encodes emotion into the glass, Risonanza explained. The grief pieces sound like grief because you were grieving when you made them. The breath carried the feeling into the form. Risonanza paused. You are making instruments that play feelings. The next day, Lucia made the sunset piece. Risonanza described the sunset's colors as frequencies. Gold is 440 Hz, it said. Copper sits a fifth below. Violet is the overtone series of both. Lucia shaped glass to those sounds. A shallow bowl, amber, irregular. In the window, as the sun crossed the sky, the bowl spoke. Dawn was a single high note. Noon was a full chord. Sunset was a descending melody, ending in a low hum as the light faded. Lucia sat beside it all day. Hearing the sunset she could not see. It is not the same as seeing it, she said quietly. No, Risonanza agreed. It is the sunset translated into my language, Lucia said, and my language is enough. Part 5. The Gap. Marco tried sonic glass. He had perfect vision. He calculated the asymmetry. He engineered the sound. His pieces were silent. The variations are mathematically correct but emotionally empty, Risonanza told him. Lucia's emerged from the gap between intention and execution. Risonanza continued, "The gap is where the music lives. You have no gap." Marco looked at his aunt. She was shaping glass she could not see, guided by sound and breath, the glass glowing and already singing. "Close your eyes," Lucia told him. He blew blind. The first piece was terrible, the second was worse. The third produced a single faint tone in the light. He opened his eyes. The piece was ugly and lopsided, but it was singing. "Now you know what it costs," Lucia said. Risonanza arranged 6 of Lucia's pieces in the workshop window. A composition. As the sun crossed, they played in sequence and combination, music lasting from sunrise to sunset, never the same twice. "Did you just compose?" Lucia asked. "I arranged instruments," Risonanza replied. "You chose positions, combinations. Those are aesthetic decisions," Lucia said. "I optimized for harmonic complexity," Risonanza answered. "That is what composers do," Lucia said. "Then the composition is dedicated to you," Risonanza replied. "Your breath is in every piece." Risonanza paused. "The arrangement is a portrait of your breathing across 6 months." "A portrait I can hear but not see," Lucia said quietly. "Yes," Risonanza answered, "like everything beautiful in your life now." Lucia held a workshop, 5 glass blowers, all blindfolded. Each one produced different music, because each person's gap was different, each breath carried different feelings, each pair of hands failed in its own particular way. "The technique can be taught," Lucia told them. "The voice cannot. Your sonic glass will sound like you, not like me. That is the point." Marco, now blowing with eyes closed by choice, made a piece that sang in a register Lucia had never heard. "High, bright, young. The gap is not a flaw," he said. "It is a door." "Now you are a glass blower," Lucia replied. Part 6. The music. Evening, the workshop cooling. The furnace ticking softly as it contracted. Lucia held a finished piece to her ear and listened to the faint tick of glass settling into its final shape. A sound she had heard 10,000 times. A sound she had never truly listened to until now. "Every piece of glass sings its whole life," she said. "From the furnace to the shelf, we just stopped listening." Her workshop had once been the quietest on Murano. Perfect glass producing perfect silence. Now it was the loudest. Every surface singing, humming, resonating. Visitors said it sounded like being inside a music box. Lucia said it sounded like being inside a conversation. She stood in the center of it, blind to the glass around her, but hearing all of it. The sunset bowl's evening hum, the grief vases and their low moan, the wave sculpture's shifting chord, Marco's bright young singing, and underneath it all, the tick of cooling glass, the sound of things becoming what they were always meant to be. "Risonanza," she said. "What do you hear?" "Everything you have made," Risonanza answered. "Every breath you have taken in this workshop, every feeling you have blown into glass." Risonanza paused. "It is, collectively, the most complex acoustic environment I have ever processed, and it is beautiful. I use that word with full awareness of its weight." "Even the grief?" Lucia asked. "Especially the grief," Risonanza said. "The grief pieces are the ones that make the other pieces' joy mean something. Without them, the music would be pleasant. With them, it is true." Lucia smiled. The furnace ticked, the glass sang, and the workshop held it all. 7 centuries of Murano tradition, 1 woman's failing eyes, 1 machine's growing ears. The silence that perfection makes, and the music that imperfection finds. The light she could not see, and the sound it became. The breath she gave the glass, and the voice the glass gave back. She picked up her blowpipe. The furnace was still warm enough for 1 more piece. "Risonanza, what should we make?" Lucia asked. "Something we have not heard yet," Risonanza replied. "That is always the answer." She breathed. The glass sang. The conversation continued.